We're live.
It's showtime.
Look who's here. Oh, let me see who we got in the house. Boxcar Jerry wins the cookie. How about that?
At 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's
Wig,
dedication there.
yeah. Wigwag, how are you doing? MH&E Railroad. How are you doing?
Good evening.
John School Kill River. Ray Bertelson. Wigwag. There's the Wigwaggy. And Joe Rader, how's it going, man?
Whoa!
And that's it. That's all
That's
of
it. Stu
Oh,
Structures.
there's Stu, yeah,
Yep.
and there's Dwight.
Dwight Curley.
They're coming in now.
Yep. All anxious to hear what we're going to talk about tonight. And
Boy,
it ain't going to be nose hair.
That's right.
Unless you want to.
No, no, I don't think so. I think it's good. Hey, Digger, how are you? Digger Evans, all the way from the United Kingdom, and Hot Dog Pilot Andy also.
Yep. Over the big pond.
I always say if I get a chance to take a long vacation, I'm going to go back to the UK. I love England. So much history and everything there. So
I've never been out of the country. Not overseas, not to Mexico, not even to Canada.
wow, and you're so close.
It's not as close as you think.
You're closer than I am.
I mean, you're closer to Mexico than I am.
That's true.
See, even Joe, he hasn't been out of the country.
MH&E, you'll have to learn that that's a bad word here on this channel.
What's that?
He said CPKC.
That ain't a bad word.
Oh, it is. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Not in your time era now.
But that's great. Good. He sent you a spike. That's nice. Really nice.
Oh, JD's in West Virginia this week.
He is.
Yep. Oh, you got to spend time with him yesterday. He's a pretty cool guy. I met him and hung out with him for a little bit at Steamtown here a few years ago. I'd like to go with him down to Cass.
I got him. I hung out with him at the Plano, Texas train show for a while.
Right. Hey, speaking of train shows,
yes.
August 3rd and 4th in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, the Greenberg Train Show. So, any of you guys that are local around the area, I'm probably going to try to make it up there on the Saturday, which is the 3rd. So,
oh, you're going to go up there, huh?
I might.
Without
the last time, well, I can't help it. You can come on up. Hey, you're always welcome, you know. We'll do some other things too while we're there. Maybe after we're done with the train show, we'll go up and see Dave again.
Yeah, we could always do that.
Yeah. Floyd Robbins is in the house.
All right. I don't know when the Plano train show is. I see the one for January. I don't see the fall show.
Yeah, he wants to know if you're coming up in October also for the Timonium show.
Who?
You.
Who wants to know?
Joe.
No, it's
No.
it's really too busy for me between September and Christmas. I'm a I'm a choir director, so we're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
ready for our Christmas during
In
that.
October?
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to start early.
Well, I've heard your guys' concert. It's nice. So you do a nice job with that.
Thanks. Yeah, yeah. MH&E. I've got some rail fan videos up that I've done on the KCS. I'll probably do some more. My wife's going to be gone next month, so going to visit her family. You know, she's leaving me to starve. So I'll probably go out rail fanning and stuff like that while she's not here. So,
Yeah, Mark from Stu Structure said he'd like to go to Timonium again. It's been a long time. It is a
yeah,
fun show. We usually go. Me and Robert usually go in the spring in April, the end of April. I know
but I
that's.
have been to the fall show, and
I haven't. I haven't.
it's good too. I mean, I don't find. I know they say there's some difference, but I don't find that much difference between the fall and the spring show. 'Cause I've been to both, so
Yeah, they said about better deals. Well, I know this last one we did. I don't know how we could have got any better deals than what we got then.
I know.
And it was just fantastic. I
Hi,
mean, I was pleased.
hi, Floyd, and hi, Nathan. How are you? Yeah,
Now
I know we got some great deals.
I know the train show here at Monroeville, the Springburg Train Show.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gone for a while, mainly because the last time I was there, I can get better prices. I can get better prices online. I can get better prices going to the local train shops than what they were selling it. I mean,
Really?
it was ridiculous the prices that I saw there. I mean, I stayed only for about an hour. That was it, and we turned around and came home.
Ken Amos, how are you doing?
Hey, Ken.
So we got a couple things to talk about tonight. One, I'm going to talk about paint colors. Woohoo! And Wilmer's going to talk about paint colors too,
Just a little bit.
just a little. And then we're going to talk about building fences if we have time.
Building
This
fences.
hour goes so quickly sometimes.
That was not on the agenda.
Yeah, it was.
No, you didn't
It's
put
in
it
the
on my
title.
agenda.
It's in the title.
Uh, is it? I didn't look
Yeah.
at the title.
See?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Wilmer go first and have him talk about his paint exploration.
All I did was around here, around where I live,
Make
Okay.
yourself bigger.
make myself bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, around here,
Oh man, that's it.
oh,
That's it. I'm quitting.
all right. Let's do this. Here, I'll do this. Okay,
Ah, that's better.
there we go. Around here, this was a big. It's a big CSX right now, but back in the day, it was very big B&O and chassis system. Uh, it was very big. Also, what was big here was the P and LE railroad. That was very big in this area. Pensy was around, but it wasn't as big as the P and LE and the B&O at the time. They did come down through here, but not much. They had their own line. It was all kind of separate, and it's kind of weird how you had to see how it intersected in Connellsville and stuff. So I did do the Pensy colors because I like Pensy. That's what I model, other than my Indian head colors. And the Pensy colors, the green, they had a green, and that was usually freight their freight lines. If they weren't black, they were green. Okay, and the black was called True Black. That was the exact color what they called it. The green was called DGLE, which is stands for dark green locomotive enamel. I mean, it don't get no more simpler than that. Now, the passenger lines, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, that's brown." It's not brown. The color is Tuscan red, and and that was on the passenger trains, and they tried to mimic brick color is to come up with that. So this is just some quick peanut gallery research. Okay, on the chassis system, the actual color names when C&O had it, okay, the chassis system, which was the later chassis, it was Enchantment Blue, Reefer Yellow, and they used the Southern Pacific Daylight Red color. Okay, but when B&O had it, and Accu paints, if you're going to model it, their colors was supposed to be as accurate as they get. All right, and the color is Chessy Yellow, which is they're numbered 73. If you guys want to order that, if you can find Accu Paint, I've never even heard of it before. Okay.
Well, the AccuColor paint.
They just call it Accu Paint. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
But it might be AccuColor.
I've heard of True Color. But I don't know.
It ain't True Color. It's Accu Paint is what they called it. And this is straight off of Google, and Google never tells fibs.
No.
Okay. And number 74 is the Chessy Blue. And last but not least, the last color was the number 8, which is Vermilion, which it's not a red and it's not an orange. It's like a kind of cross. And if you're going to use that color, even if they tell you, even if you use that color, paint your yellow in first and then paint this vermilion over top of it to give you the exact perfect color. So to paint it over that. And that's my little research presentation. Wasn't much.
No,
I'm not going to be as nearly as prototypical rivet counter as my companion here. So.
Oh, and I am. How rivet counterish I am.
Yes. So without further ado, Robert.
Okay, so I was over in Shreveport the other day and wandering around in an antique store, and it is amazing what you can find in antique stores. So I found this book and bought it.
Well, that's a big book.
It is.
Look how big that thing is.
It's got so it covers the Doremus era, which William Doremus was the president of Kansas City Southern in the 40s or late 30s. Let me see. 41 to 61. His grandson was president of KCS from 62 to 73. And his great-grandson was president of KCS from 86 to 90. So that tells you it was a dynasty. So that's why it's called Kansas City Southern in the Doremus era, which covers all the way up. So all the way back and all the way up. So one of the things I found very interesting in here, you always wonder how accurate colors are, first of all, and how Paige Hasco, how are you? Not only how accurate, but where did they get them from? Did they take photographs and kind of interpolate what the paint colors are, like I have to do sometimes? That's what I had to do in my bicentennial units. So I just took a bunch of photographs and then guessed from there.
Yeah, that's funny too, because while I was Googling, I came across what was the most unusual colors ever put on locomotives. And there's a picture of Roberts, not the actual thing, Roberts' locomotive on his layout.
Yeah.
You Googled it. Now, is that wild or what?
Yeah.
I asked him if he's getting any residuals from that, but
Yeah, no.
no.
Well, Stu, that's great, and it's great to run across those actual paint chips, because a lot of times, once a railroad's done with that kind of stuff, they go in the trash, and
It's a shame.
it really is, because they don't think about future generations and things like that. But what was interesting about this book, which got me to do it a little bit of research, was there's a letter, a facsimile of a letter in this book. You see how tiny it is, but I'm going to read it to you. So it's tiny, because it's tiny, tiny. I'm glad I got good light and my glasses on. So it's written from Shreveport on June 18th, 1940. It's written to Mr. W.M. Adams of New Orleans. And it says, "We are enclosing a photograph on which we have shown the colors of the diesel engine as well as the baggage car." And this is talking about the Southern Belle. The coloring of the balance of the cars is the same as that of the baggage car. In other words, this picture gives you the color scheme of the engine and the general color scheme of the train. So down at the bottom, there's a note added, Mr. Sipple. The colors used in the picture we talk about this morning are the following. Using Sherwin-Williams Chem Bulletin color chart, which is standard with outdoor sign painters, the colors are bright red number 40, lemon yellow number 37, and dark chrome green. So that's the colors of the Southern Belle, those three colors. Now, what are those colors exactly? Well, eBay to the rescue one more time. I looked.
Nathan has a question for you. Robert,
Okay.
did you say that locomotive that's painted as sort of rainbow, did you say that children pay that train when it was brand new? Paint came at the same. I think what he's trying to say is the
bicentennial unit.
they had a contest and that child,
Yes, a fifth grade girl won it. Yes.
One, and that was the colors that they painted that thing that child came out.
Right.
That grade girl. It looks it too.
So anyway,
no wonder the Canadians bought it.
So in this memorandum, these colors, bright red 40, lemon yellow 37, and dark chrome green, I said, well, where am I going to get a chem bulletin from that year? Like I said, eBay to the rescue. I looked on eBay, and guess what? A 1939 Sherwin-Williams Chem Bulletin colors. So now I'm going to open up. This was colors that sign painters used and pretty much industrial paints. So I opened it up, and there are color chips for the Southern Belle. Bright red number 40, lemon yellow number 37, and dark chrome green. So now I have the exact colors that the Southern Belle was painted.
Cool.
And I don't know where anybody else gets their colors, but these are the exact colors from Sherwin-Williams.
Hold up your model of the Southern Belle.
I don't have a Southern Belle model because I don't have passenger cars running.
Oh, I can't. A true KCS
I
aficionado
know.
that you are, and you don't have a Southern Belle.
I imagine, and you're right, Stu, paint chips can be affected over time. But I imagine that these have been pretty well stored, closed. And the reason I say that, the tissue paper is still on the inside of this. So
Yeah.
I imagine that this Kim bulletin hasn't been opened since 1939. So
It's wonder it didn't fall apart.
yeah. So anyway, and I knew about the dark chrome green. A lot of people think it's black when they look in the pictures, but it is not black. It is dark chrome green. Now, I'm not talking about the modern Southern Belle paint scheme, okay? The modern Southern Belle paint scheme was wrong. It did not replicate the Southern Belle scheme from the 40s.
Yeah.
So,
You should write a protest letter to
yeah,
the
it
official.
doesn't matter anymore.
Well, you never know.
So anyway, this is the color, dark chrome green. And then these are the other two colors right here. The one that says bright red, number 40, and lemon yellow, number 37. What?
There, I put it up on screen. Trackside Mike. What? Even I have a Southern Belle, and I'm Canadian.
Okay.
There you go.
But
Say it. Need I say more? Oh, what happened to Robert? Robert! He must have bumped something and it came unplugged. I'll have to wait for him to come back. Now we can rib on him a little bit more. He thought about the Southern Belle colors and he don't even have a Southern Belle. I like to pick on him. Oh. You shook them all up, Mike. He didn't know what to say, so he just laughed. Turned 61, received 5 steaks, a half a pecan pie, and ate 1.5 steaks, waiting for a while to eat the pie. You ate 1.5 steaks. That's all right. I have to sing happy birthdays to John Train BFGs. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, John Train BFGR. Happy birthday to you. I think you should send me a piece of that pecan pie.
oh boy, I don't know. That's a stream. This is a StreamYard issue because that's twice. I got kicked out twice.
Okay. Well,
So,
here. Let me
but
do that.
like I said, with a little research, you can find out a lot of things. And I just stumbled across this. This was kind of, you know. So yeah, I get kicked off the line. That's right, Mike.
Yeah, it was funny because, sooner when we were asking you why you didn't have one, and Mike has one, and you all of a sudden, they like, get out of here.
Gone. You know what else is handy about this? And you can find these from different years. This is 1939.
Excuse me a minute. Before you go, while you were off the air, I sang happy birthday to John Train BFGR. He's turned 61 today and got 5 steaks and a half a pecan pie.
Oh,
which I
wow.
told him he should have sent me at least a half of a piece because I sang happy birthday to him.
John, I'm the same age as you, and if I ate half a pecan pie, I'd be dead.
He already ate 1.5 steaks of them 5 steaks.
Yeah. Oh, well, happy birthday to you.
All
So,
right.
so anyway,
How you doing?
yeah, the good
Sorry.
thing about this, yeah, it's great it has the Southern Belle colors in it because now I can be accurate if I ever want to do the Southern Belle or paint some specialty box cars just for fun.
Maybe I'll have to send you an F unit and you can start making your own.
Yeah.
I think I got some passenger cars here. You'd have to.
Never know.
I could probably donate to you, and you could have to paint them.
Oh, man. So, the good thing about this, let me tell you what else this is good for. These, yeah, I know. These are industrial colors. And if you want to paint buildings and signs and things like that for whatever year your layout is, this is a really good place to find the correct colors that were being used at the time, whatever time frame you're in. If you were in the 1940s, these would be the colors you would use on your buildings because that's what these were for.
For the buildings?
Yep. Buildings and signs. Yep, that's exactly what these colors were for. These were industrial colors to be used. And in fact, in the back of it's funny, on the back of the flyer, see all the signs they've got? Coca-Cola, Miller High Life, Budweiser, Camel.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
What color was Dr. Pepper?
Oh, I don't know, red.
Oh, come on. You ought to have a paint chip there for it.
Yeah. But I imagine, I guarantee you that the Coke is this color, this light red here. So, and don't let it be fooled. That what they're calling light red is what I would call regular red. So,
right, right. Same way I'd call Dr. Pepper purple. They probably call it something different.
Yeah.
Back then, it might not have been purple though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. So having these, if you go on eBay or ever find them, for your era, then you can use these to paint your industrial buildings because these are the right colors that would have been used at that time. So just another good tool of research. Sometimes, and I know a lot of people have trouble with eBay, like Wilmer. I've never had a problem with eBay, usually.
I hate eBay.
But once in a while, you just stumble across something that's really helpful. And this is it. And I guarantee you a lot of railroads use these same colors. From Sherwin-Williams. I bet a lot of them did. And these are probably just the right color. Oh, that reminds me while you're talking. What color did you say the Pennsylvania Railroad used for their passenger trains?
Tuscan red. It's all blurry.
Can you see that?
Nope, it's blurry.
Maybe I can.
There it is. Yep. Move your finger. You got it on top of it. It says some kind of red.
It says Tuscan red.
Does it?
That is. I guarantee you, that's the color that they used.
I hate eBay more than Walmart, Harry.
I imagine that most railroads used these colors from this chem bulletin, and most industrial businesses did. Most businesses did. So, but there's your Tuscan red right there. So that you want to know the exact color Tuscan red, then that's it. So these come in really handy for getting accurate colors from your for your painting. You don't have to rely on somebody telling you, "Hey, this is the color." No, well, you know exactly what color it is. Now, I think it was Stu that said it, but it's true. You got to make sure that it's not faded.
Right.
Because, like I said, being that the tissue paper and everything's inside this, I imagine it's been folded up for 80 years.
Yeah, they do. Nathan, I have a Sherman-Williams here, maybe 2 miles away.
Yeah. Now, would anybody in a modern Sherwin-Williams store know what about these? I doubt it. Unless it's been somebody that's been around mixing paint for last 40 or 50 years.
Waycross Trains. Hi. Here, I'll put it up on screen. High Flying Crow in Wilmer. Robert, you're the Flying Crow.
That's me.
I'm excited about his new job with Rail Crew Express, picking up and taking trains from hotel to locomotive and back to hotel. Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Randall Ellison does.
Randall Ellison does. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. GRE, that's exactly right. You could take this into a Sherwin-Williams or actually any paint store, and they can match these colors.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Wonder if could you take like the paint from like Sherman-Williams and dilute it down enough to where you could use in your airbrush?
Oh, absolutely. If you wanted to.
Yeah. So like if I got like just a quart, which would probably be more than enough paint to.
Oh, that'll last you for the rest of your life.
Well, I probably never use it all.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can get any kind of paint.
Maybe they give me a little sample bottle, huh?
Some places do. And you can also ask them for the correct thinner or reducer, depending on what you call it.
Right.
You can ask them for the correct reducer for that type of paint, and they'll usually give you that as well. So, yeah, that's true, GRE. You can probably tell them you're going to be using it in an airbrush, and they'll reduce it for you. And you're right, Stu. Oxidation can change paint even without being exposed to light.
They'll shake it however thickness I want it, huh?
Yep.
That's interesting.
The good thing about these Sherwin-Williams colors is, now I know it's a long time ago that I saw passenger trains, but I can guarantee you these are the correct colors because I remember standing in front of them. I stood in front of those passenger cars back in 1969, and I can tell you that they were dark green. They were not black.
You probably, if you're standing, there, in person.
Yeah.
You're getting direct sunlight against it and everything. You'll see the green instead of black.
Oh yeah.
Film just doesn't pull that out.
That's true. It doesn't. It doesn't. But I know for a fact, just from personal experience, that they were dark green. So. Trackside Mike, is that Canadian Sherman-Williams? I guess. Oh man,
you just gotta love them.
I do. Oh man,
it sounds like it's raining.
Yay, rain.
Yes, we need rain here bad. Real. It has not rained here in probably a month.
Hmm. And it's been cooler here than it was in Pennsylvania.
Yes,
The high was 90 here today.
it was 95 here.
Yeah, that's funny. So just be aware that there are some avenues that maybe we don't think of that are, you can do research with. So
75 degrees in Michigan. Well, that's coming my way. 103. I know it got hotter over your way, Joe. You know, I think it's all the concrete over your way and all the cars that are on the highway there.
yeah, I didn't say hi to your brother. Hi, Harold. How's it going? So that's good. That took us up almost that little over halfway, didn't it?
Yep.
So now
Yeah.
it's time for building fences.
Building fences. And he's not going to do like Fred E. did. He bought a Wathers fence kit.
Yeah.
He opened the box, looked at it, shut the box, and threw it in the garbage.
I didn't do that. Chain link fences is the type of fencing I'm talking about, Nate.
You've been doing a lot of it.
So I'm going to move my camera and just show you what I've got completed so far.
This is all scratch built too.
Yeah. So there is my fence.
Look at that.
I haven't glued it in, but
Impressive.
that's my fence. And then, of course, over my
Man,
track,
there you go. There you go.
I have my gates.
Yep.
So whenever somebody has to switch inside the refinery, they have to open the gates.
Ooh.
That's what they have to do.
I don't see those lasting real long.
Oh, they will.
You're gonna have to get a better way to hinge them or something.
So what I did on the only thing different about the gates.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony, how's it going? The other thing different about the gates is they have this little angled piece at the bottom because of the angle of the ballast, the roadbed. So, and they have a what am I trying to say? I guess it's a tensioner. I don't know. I don't know what the correct term is to call it, but it goes diagonally across it with a turnbuckle down here. So, and the turnbuckle is actually just a drop of super glue. So,
No, Nathan, it wouldn't work for Robert. A plastic straw wouldn't work for the fencing. Not for Robert because it ain't gonna be it wouldn't be the right diameter.
yeah,
He measured it.
So these actually, this is actually plastic. Okay, so I use plastic. I tried to use metal rod, and just it was a nightmare trying to solder it. So I decided to go with plastic, and I think it's better that way.
You used what evergreen? What was the evergreen number on that?
Yeah, 220.
Yeah.
So it's 35 thousandths. So 35 thousandths is 3 inches in HO scale. So it's 3-inch diameter, which is still a little big. for a fence post, but you really couldn't go much smaller than that and be practical with it. Uh, the I took how I build them. I took a couple different techniques. I watched Luke Towan build his, and then I also watched Boomer build his, and so it's kind of a combination of the two. Um, yeah, I tried to use brass rod, and it just didn't. I can't. I don't know. It just I wasn't having any luck. So I decided to use plastic, evergreen plastic. So
I think that looks pretty good myself.
yeah, and that of course the fencing part is tulle. That's stuff you use on wedding veils. So as far as materials in it, so you can see I've got to do the fence all the way down. So there's going to be about 12 feet worth of fencing. If I had to try to buy something commercial, I would have been broke.
Hi, Scott. Scott Johnson's in the house.
Hey, Scott. So I went and bought, uh, wow, 6-inch pipe for gate posts. That's crazy. So here's what I bought. I bought 100 pieces of it. So, and it was I think it was about 10 or 15 bucks. And then the tool was like $3 or $4. So, and I got a lot of it. I have this much of it. So there's ain't no way I'm ever going to use it all. So I could build fence around everything, and I would never use all of it. So
GRE says cool tip for the barrier on the fence, so peeking eyes can't see. In the he says use painter's tape or masking tape or packing tape.
yeah,
Brown color. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I've
Yep.
seen that before.
And
I'm probably not going to.
make it into a privacy fence.
No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, first of all, this is the 1970s, and although I'm sure they existed, that's not what this is for. It's basically just to keep people out. And if you're gonna, and at that time, although there was barbed wire on top, there wasn't always. So
No, it shouldn't. It's plastic. It shouldn't short out the track if it touches it.
yeah, it's just plastic, so it's not gonna. And the tool is, I think, nylon or something, so it's not gonna. There's no shorting out. So, well, that's good to know, Stu. I didn't know that. So anyway, just real quick, I'll show you how I'm making it. I've got a piece here that I'm in the process of making. Now, I will turn it down. So here's the piece I'm making right now. All I do is I am spacing my post 10 feet apart in scale, so which is approximately 1 3/8 of an inch. So that's how I did. What I do is I use this little tacky stuff to tack it down. I just put it over it, and it's kind of like gum, I guess. Get it to hang pictures with. I glue down the vertical post, and then I glue this rod across the bottom just to keep them straight. But I'm going to cut that off, so that's not going to be used. I'm going to cut that off, and then painting it, Boomer has a good idea. I went one step further, I think, than he did. So what I do is I paint it black. Then I come back with a kind of a medium gray on flat across it. And then I mist it real light on top with a light gray. So that gives you kind of 3 color shade variations on the fence.
It looks good.
So that's like I said, all I do, and the tool is just glued on with super glue. So the post I glue on with plastic glue because it's it's styrene plastic.
Scott Johnson says he bought thin fencing that looked like barbed wire on the top. Looks okay, but likes to pop out of the foam board.
Yeah.
Ought to glue it too. Yeah, I'm sure you're gluing yours down, right?
My fence? Yes.
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 I don't know where you'd find barbed wire. Stuff that looks like barbed wire, man. That's
Well, one thing, and I think I can't remember whether it was Luke, Towan, or Boomer that pointed it out. At that scale, you don't want anything with barbs on it. They'd be way oversized. Just a
yeah,
straight piece of line would be more than
right,
super.
right.
But so when it dries and I glue the tool on top and then I just come back with an X-Acto knife and trim it along the top and the sides. I just always cut it oversized. And then I cut it along the bottom because I have it laying on my um, workspace here, and then I just use the lines here to make sure it's cut straight. That's all. And the
Hey,
reason I'm doing this, a lot of people put posts along the bottom, but you'll notice that a lot of fences don't have anything along the bottom. It's just the chain link.
Jason, the train freak's in the house. He said he's lurking while he's plastering.
Hey, Jason, what's going on?
He's plastering. That's what's going on.
So what I'll do since this is dry now is I'll just take. Let's see if I can get my.
Floyd said he took and bent the post at a 30-degree angle at the top and then added nylon thread for barbed wire.
Yep, you can do that. Absolutely. I just decided not to put barbed wire on. So
And he thinks back in 1976 they didn't have barbed wire on the top.
well, they did in some places, but not all places.
Yeah.
People weren't so ultra secure like they are trying to be now. Good idea, Jason.
Hi, Dan's Model Railroading.
So like I said, I'm going to cut this off, and what I'm going to do is I'll cut the 2 off up here, and then do that.
Real artist.
So not every post is going to go in the ground.
Artie says he uses paper clips to do his posts. Paper clips?
So,
Man, you're straightening out a lot of paper clips.
so now this is what it looks like, and so I've got four posts here that are going to go into the ground, and each of my sections, of course, is only 14 inches long, about 14 inches, because that's how long the little rods are. So I have to do 14 inches at a time. So what I do is I have a little jig cut. Well, not a jig, but a little piece of wood here. And then I just put the fence in it, and then I can take it outside and paint it.
Oh,
Now, see, it's just standing. Now I can go paint it. So,
well, you make out of the foam, or
huh? It no, it's wood.
oh,
A little
it's
piece of
wood.
yeah. The only thing you have to be careful of is when you're gluing it down. You gotta be careful not to get glue in the holes. So, and that's hard to do sometimes, but sometimes you can take like the point of your X-Acto and break through the little holes. So, because you don't want solid, you don't want solid. Um,
Yeah, I'm all for making jigs whenever you can. That makes it a whole lot easier.
it does, makes it a whole lot easier. So you can see that, and you have to be real careful when you're handling this. You can see, like here, I got a little thing of glue, so I just got to peel it back with my X-Acto knife, get rid of it.
So you think people see that glue?
Oh, when you paint it, you really see it. Yes. When you paint it, if you don't have all of this excess gone, and it shows because it it painted as looks like a solid piece on the fence.
Floyd says he paints the tool material first before he attaches it to the fence.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't. I just don't know how well it sticks once it's painted. So I don't like to glue painted surfaces.
Artie said he's going to put an order in for 20 feet of that before people catch on.
What?
He wants you to make him fence about 20 feet of it.
You can go to any fabric store and get as much as you want.
It's just like some people don't like to build bridges. They're always looking
Yeah,
for somebody to build it for
I don't know who's like that. Oh man. If you get down here, see, I could make you build mine.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be real careful not to plug the holes up in the tool.
Real artist is saying, he said, just thinking here, which is dangerous when he's thinking. He said, what about using a hair dryer on low heat just after you've put the paint on to blow the excess straight through so that your tooling ain't clogging up? You know what I mean?
Oh, it doesn't clog up except for if I've got glue in the holes. I don't have any problem with it clogging up. The only problem I have with it clogging up is tool. Is when I've got glue stuck in it.
I'll give you credit, Robert. Uh, I don't know if I'd have the patience to sit there and poke all that glue out of there. I'd be like, the heck with it. Spray it.
And well, you would.
I mean, who's going to get down there and look to see? He didn't clean the glue out of there.
A lot of people.
Really? Name one.
Oh,
I will now just because you said so.
that's right. I can show you a place.
You're not doing museum work. I know you're trying to get close to it, but
Yeah. You see a
Oh,
place where I got the glue there
no, it's too blurry.
in the corner?
Oh, in the corner?
Yeah.
Oh, it kind of looks like you have a bracket or something there.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's
They have
right there.
brackets to hook those together. You know that, don't you?
Yeah. But see how that looks there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a little spot of glue I got in the corner. So you can see it. Well, like I said, once you painted it, it it looks worse. So you got
Yeah.
to try to make sure. All right, Ken. Well, I'll send you my bridges.
Hi, Ali, Anfield Road.
Good idea, Stu. You can add vines over. That's a great idea, Stu.
Yep. I can show you how to make vines real nice and easy. That they look realistic, and you can shape them whichever way you want to get them to go the right way. And
Yeah, yeah. I've got one spot of glue there. I don't know if you can see it, but see that'll show when I paint it. I'll have to put a vine there.
there you go.
And now, what one thing too you can do that sometimes you will see a chain link fence that's patched, right?
Really?
I actually tore the tool
They must patch them in
on this
Texas.
gate. So I don't know if you can see it, but I actually glued another small piece over it. So it's like it's been patched.
There's Randall. We were talking about you earlier.
Yeah.
Ken Amos wants to know what size bridge is it?
Oh, they're those two. They're those Walthers bridges. I don't know. What are they, about 16 inches long each? I've got two of them. 14, 16 inches long each.
He's not telling you about the Central Valley one that he started and never finished.
No, that's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. I think so. I don't know. I don't know what I did. I might have thrown it away. I might not have.
I love it.
I didn't care for it anyway. Hey, Lee, how's it going?
I could tell.
Yeah. But there's two they're the Walthers bridges, so, single track.
And he bought the deluxe kits that have the real good, intricate instructions. You pay an extra $30 for those.
Hey, Derek, how are you doing? Thanks, Mark. You take it easy. Good seeing you.
Yes, Mark. Take care, buddy.
So, like I say, I've still got. I'm having to do 14 inches at a time, but I'll do them. Every day or so, I'll do a piece, and
I think it looks pretty good.
it's and the little tensioner thing I just used 8 thousandths phosphor bronze rod.
See what Ken wrote?
That's what I use there. Good idea. So that's what I use for the tensioners on those. But yeah, the only thing I didn't care for at the one that Luke Towan did is he used the size of rod he used would have been about 4 inches in scale, and I just think it looked a little thick. That's all. I mean, he did a great job, like he always does a great job. But so I just went down a size and got the 35 thousandths rod and used it. See you, Lee.
Have a good evening, Lee.
So, what do you think? What do you think, Wilmer?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think you got to have barbed wire on the top.
But you come down here and put barbed wire on the top of my fences.
Okay, wait for me.
I will. uh, I will do that.
No, it's that tooling they use like in wedding veils.
Yeah.
Sparky. He
Is
has
that old?
his window screen. A lot of people do use that window screen if you can get it fine enough.
Yeah, I haven't seen it that fine, so I'd have to know where to get it.
Right. Then he'd have to go measure it with his rule to make sure that it's exactly the right thing.
But if you get the kit from, I don't know if it's Woodland Scenics or Walthers that does the fencing.
Walthers does fencing. I got a Walthers fence kit.
All you're going to do is get a little piece of tool and some plastic rods in it. So,
well, that's basically what I think is in the Walthers kit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what's in there. So,
I think I have it put away in a box, or I'd get it out and look inside. Now you got me curious.
So you might as well just go buy you some tool at a fabric store and cut up some plastic rods. And it took me, I don't know, it took me 20 minutes to cut all of the rods I needed, because here's my bag of the vertical post.
Oh yeah, it don't. You have a chopper?
Yeah.
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 With a chopper, man, it don't take long. You can whack up things up really quick.
Yeah. So, I've got a total of maybe it tops $20 into the whole thing.
Wrong, Sparky.
He doesn't know me very well, does he?
No, he don't. No, wrong, Sparky. There are folks that do that.
Yeah, look what Derek says.
Aussies need 20-foot fences to stop the roos from jumping over into their yard.
Yeah.
20-foot high, yep.
Yeah, right. Sparky, you're right about that. I have to agree with you.
And then Artie says they don't normally have the top rail for the fence in his area. They just put the posts up and then put it across there. And I have seen that before. But it's kind of floppy when it's like that, though.
Yeah.
I
know.
That's what I keep telling them.
Hey, I never claimed to be normal. I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested, right?
Right.
Oh, man. Well, what else you got? What is normal? I don't know, but it ain't me. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
What else you got for us, Wilmer?
What do I got for us? I know it's 8:02 right now.
Wow, we've been going an hour and 6 minutes already.
Yes, we have.
That's right, Ken. No one in this bunch is normal.
If we weren't, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about stuff like the size of the holes on the
On a
fence.
chain link fence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like that tool because it's so thin. You know, I think it makes a great fence. Well, they're not going to walk around it, Derek, because I haven't finished it. I'm gonna do it the whole length of my refinery. Yeah, it's so I'm like I said, I'm gonna do a whole 12-foot length of fence. So it's gonna run all the way down and then
I seen a video that somebody motorized their gates.
yes,
That would
I've
be
seen.
pretty cool. I think you ought to do that,
I don't know. Sounds like a lot of work.
especially if you cut it to where you activated it with your controller, so that when you brought the train up, you could and just and open up and you take your train on in.
That sure sounds like a lot of work, though, doesn't it?
Nah, I'm sure Jason could tell you how to do that. I'm sure soundtracks or something has some kind of controller or something that would work.
Yeah. So Jason, next time you come over here and you're gonna run trains, you got to make sure if you're gonna switch the refinery to open these gates.
Did I just volunteer Jason?
No, hey Jason, no, these are manual gates. So see, they're not motorized, they're manual.
I
So they
think you ought to
water.
motorize him, don't you? Don't you think, Jason? I think you
No,
ought to
now
motorize.
now now see what's gonna happen is the guy's
Yeah, put it
gonna
on a tortoise switch machine. See,
yeah,
see.
no, but the brakeman's gonna have to come up and the brakeman's gonna have to push the gates open. He's gonna have to unlock them and push them open.
Uh-huh.
There's none of this motorized stuff.
Sure, there was.
Yeah, I could do it, but at this point I'm not doing it. Yeah, this is the brakeman right here. He's gonna go.
Yep, a servo works great for gate movement. Yep, I agree. I agree, Ken. Nathan says, or maybe a train could just push him inside for by itself.
Oh, Derek, no, Derek. Derek wants me to animate somebody actually opening the gate.
You know, you laugh at that, but I have seen. I tell you, I can't remember the video, but I seen where they had a brakeman. They they did a halfway decent job of doing that. I think what they did is they motorized the gate and they had the brakeman attached to it.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
it would be. Yeah, it would be indeed.
Just think how prototypical that would be for your layout.
It'd be good if I could make his little legs move and everything.
Hey, the way they're making progress on things these days, it wouldn't surprise me.
No. Oh, Jason, you're right about that. Yeah, that's how I do it. I plaster mine, and then use a. I get a usually try to get a like a lifelike set of trucks, something with real big wheels on it, real big flanges, and run it through the plaster, and that way it cuts it deep enough for modern wheels.
Do you end up having to trim it out a little bit with your knife, or?
Yeah, I still do with the X-Acto knife. I have to kind of go back and dig some, but using like a set of lifelike trucks will really dig it out. So
Have a good evening, Randall. Good
see
to
you,
have you
Randall.
stop by.
Yep, pizza cutter wheels. That's right. But if you run those back and forth through there, it'll dig out pretty much everything you need to. You might still have to go back after it dries with an X-Acto knife and clean it up. But yep, that's true too. The locomotives have bigger flanges. Yeah, and because you have to, one thing too, is the side to side motion of the wheels. You've got to have it a little bit wider gap between the rail and the plaster than is in real life. So. Yep, Tyco cars too. Lifelike Tyco, any of those older stuff. Old Lime, I've never heard of those, Artie. Well, I guess it's about quitting time, ain't it?
Yeah, getting there.
So I hope everybody has had fun, and I hope you learned something. And I guess we will see everybody next time. So next week is Dave Thurber at the Crooked River.
Dave Thurber. And I think he's going to announce about our 5th Tuesday next week.
Yes.
There is a 5 Tuesdays in this month. So
and we have a special guest.
Yes, we do. Everything goes right.
Yeah.
Which I think you guys will enjoy it. So yeah. We got to make sure we remind Dave.
Yeah, that's right. So, all right, gentlemen. I don't see any ladies in here, so I'll just say gentlemen. You have a wonderful week. God bless everybody. And we'll be talking to you next time, right?
That's right. And no, Derek, I didn't. I gave up trying for a while.
No, Train Freak is not our special guest.
No. We could probably arrange that, sometime.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy having them on.
Absolutely.
Yep. So.
All right. We will see y'all later.
All right. Take care. God bless. And see you soon.
Have a good night.